Hey guys, so in this video I wanted to give you an update on how training's been going. So overall, this has been frankly the best my training has gone in such a long time. Here I'm hitting a PR on deadlift for 545 for 5. I've hit this before, I actually think for like 6 reps, but I mean this was under completely different circumstances, way less psychological arousal and whatnot with my training. And just overall, my squat in particular has been blowing up. On this next clip, you're going to see me do a 355-pound safety bar squat. And this is like RPE 6 for me, which is insane. Leg progress has been crazy. And I've just been really enjoying my training, and I just feel excited to go in and train. Now, there are definitely days when I do feel beat up and beat down. It's kind of like, ugh. But I think that's something that a lot of people shy away from, is feeling any sort of fatigue. And I think that's important to understand that fatigue is not a bad thing. Fatigue is necessary for adaptations to actually happen from your training and to know that you are actually training hard enough. If you generated little fatigue from your training, you probably aren't going to make the most amount of progress. If you do make progress, and likely just are not training hard enough. And I just don't think that many people get in the gym to not make really good progress and only for the minimum progress. We all want to see really good results, and especially people who follow me, since my whole brand is about getting strong and aesthetic using an evidence-based method, one that combines the science with personal experience. Since I don't think a lot of people understand that when you are talking about presenting information from a scientific perspective, it's important to understand the limitations of science and research in general, in that exercise science and nutrition science are really evolving fields. We are learning a ton, even with sports medicine and with a lot of these other areas. We are learning so much every single day about how bodies respond to different things. And so it's important to use the evidence as a compass, as a guide, but then also use your own practical experience training yourself, training other people, and using all these different variables and data points to come up with a training approach for yourself and for clients. And that's what I do with my own clients. I will generally, when I'm structuring a program for them, I'm going to use their intake forms, what's worked best in the past for them, what has their training been looking like, what have they been struggling with, and what does the science say, probably will help circumvent these issues, and how can I work with them in their own past experience as well as my own personal experience training tons of people to help get them to their goals in the best way. So that's what evidence-based practice really means, and that's why I use that as the core of my training and of my coaching philosophy, because I really think that it's the best of both worlds, because the whole "it works for me, bro" is, sometimes that's really, really valid, and sometimes what the science says and what the study says is really, really valid, but it's not everything. And I think that it's important to just be aware of that. Your own experience is extremely valuable, and yeah. Anyways, I guess I also want to just talk about exercise variation and why I would give somebody like a pause squat or a tempo squat or a deficit deadlift or a 3-count pause bench press. Since you're seeing me do like a 3-count pause bench press on, one of my workouts. So usually when I'm giving a variation, it's for one of two reasons. One is that it is self-limiting of the load. What that means is that it still allows the lifter to still get that feeling of pushing hard on an exercise, but because you are limiting the amount of load by a pause, by a long pause, by a slow eccentric, by increasing the range of motion, whatever it may be, you are able to push harder with a lower fatigue cost. And that's because you're not pushing as much load, because more load is going to be more fatiguing than less load, and we all kind of know that. The closer that you're training to your maximum potential, the more fatiguing and more effort it's going to just take for your body to actually move that way, exert that energy and whatnot. So that's going to be one reason self-limiting variations will be used, is fatigue management purposes, and still getting the lifter to still get that psychological feeling of, okay, yeah, I am pushing hard, but it's, they are not accumulating as much fatigue. The second one would be just motor learning, because variations can help you understand how to fix certain technical cues a lifter might be experiencing. For example, if a lifter is really uncomfortable in the bottom part of a squat, I might give them a pause squat. If somebody has a hard time feeling their midfoot and being over their body positions in really whatever exercise, like a squat, I'm going to give them that, because slowing down the tempo is going to make them more kinesthetically aware of their body positions. If somebody is having a hard time with pausing long enough on their chest for bench press, I'm going to give them longer pause. If somebody is having a hard time with position off the floor in a sumo deadlift, for example, I'm going to give them a paused deadlift. So those are the main two reasons why I would give somebody variations. The third one is a little bit less clear in terms of research and the elucidation of it, but there is some decent data that it does enhance motor learning through just different types of exposure to the movements in different, I guess, manners. So, for example, doing a safety bar squat like I'm doing right here, one of the biggest reasons why I give it is because a safety bar has a forward camber on it, which means that you're going to have to really focus on stacking your pelvis and bracing really hard in the movement, or else you're just going to get tanked by the movement, because there's a forward camber, which basically means that the load is going to be shifted forward. That's helping me with my learning on my squat and transferring that same position of my pelvis and my rib cage to keep it stacked on my actual competition squat, and learning how to brace harder. And so by having, I could only do a competition squat, but it's not going to force me to brace in the same way, because it doesn't have the same weight distribution, because just the physics of it is different. However, in a safety bar squat, you're going to have to do that, because if you don't do that, the weight is going to kill you. Like, you're not going to be able to get the weight up, and it just doesn't work out. So that's another reason why. But yeah, I guess just to close out this video, things are going really well. I'm excited for how my training is progressing. I'm setting PRs every single week, and I set a 3 for 15 for 2 PR. Haven't done that before. And then right here, you guys are seeing a 575 for 3 deadlift, which is something I haven't done in forever, and it just feels really good to be making progress again. And I think there's no better feeling than making real progress and having all of your hard work pay off. So I think that's all I'm going to leave out this video with. So if you guys have any questions, ask them in the comments down below. Please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you have any interest in my coaching or programs, just shoot me a DM on Instagram, or go to the link down below in the bio.